All right, so you probably read the title and are probably already thinking there's no way you can study less and still do well in your class. And if you really believe that, then you might not believe what I have to say in this video. But some part of you is still curious, which is why you're still watching. But I'm going to show you a few steps you can take to drastically decrease the time you need to study. And I won't lie to you, it's not an easy fix. It will take some effort and a lot of reflection about what I talk about right now. The first step to reducing the amount that you study and potentially cutting your study time in half is changing your mindset. In the book Mindset by Carol Dweck, she constantly compares students with a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. Those with a growth mindset believe that they can become a better student even after they fail or make a mistake. This is the kind of mindset I need you to develop. I want you to convince yourself that you are in charge of your studying and your focus. I truly believe no one is born a bad student or maybe born stupid. You know, there's some evidence on genetic disposition when it comes to well-known and famous geniuses. Most geniuses actually had a tough time and had to put in a lot of effort. For example, Mozart, if you thought he came out of the womb playing piano, you're wrong, because he had countless numbers of failures, put a lots of hours in practice, and was faced with a lot of competition. Most skills are learnable, and your skills and qualities are not fixed. This step is really crucial to understand, otherwise you will not really understand what I have to say next. The second one is to schedule the crap out of your time. Part of my language, but I don't think people really understand the power of this, and I didn't really understand what it meant to me until I started to swear by my calendar and my schedule, and I use Google Calendar to pretty much schedule everything in my life. It's really helpful to plan at least a week ahead of what you need to study and what major events are happening that week. You need to really understand how much you're gonna allow yourself to study. For example, if I gave you a lecture to review and I didn't give you a time limit on it, you might take a few hours, you might take a whole day to review a lecture. You've probably been in that spot where you're reviewing a lecture for a long time and you don't even know what the heck you're reading. You have no idea what you're learning. But if you understand a thing called Parkinson's Law, which basically states that any event or task will allot to the time that you dedicate to it, then you can use this to really say like, okay, I will only give myself an hour for a lecture. And as you practice this a little bit, you know, you might not be perfect on the first go around, but you will eventually find yourself reviewing lectures within that designated time frame. Now I'm saying be very practical with this. Don't say you're gonna do lectures in 10 minutes, but give yourself a very sustainable and practical time limit on your studies. And on your calendar, you need to really separate the specific task and what you're gonna study hour to hour, day to day. Like, get very specific. Don't just say math, don't just say algebra, say exactly what you're gonna do. Whether it's reviewing a quiz, watching a lecture, reading, or practice questions, make sure to include every detail in your study plan. Why I'm telling you to do this is because it eliminates decision fatigue. You're gonna spend way less time worrying about how to approach your studies. All the decisions are made for you in the week. And if something does change, like, you know, life hits you when you're not expecting it, it doesn't take much to get right back on track. The third step is to engage in deep work. Yes, there is such a thing called deep work, but most people don't even achieve a deep work state. I've read the book called Deep Work by Cal Newport, and to save you a little bit of time, I'm gonna summarize what he talks about and what he considers as deep work. It's a very focused state in which some of your most creative ideas come out, and you're not really being distracted by anything that might distract you, pull your attention, and kind of disrupt your workflow. And, you know, studies actually show that once you get distracted or your attention's kind of pulled, it takes an average of 17 minutes to get focused on what you were doing beforehand. Knowing this, it makes much more sense to complete a high intensity task for a couple hours versus, I don't know, studying all day, full of distractions, full of things that pull your attention for 6 to 7 hours. And like I said, this is not gonna be easy, it takes practice. But this is why I said, if you believe in the first step of a growth mindset, believe that you can get better at your studying and you can take control of it, you will get better at it every time. And I love to give examples. So in terms of studying, how deep work might look like is maybe you're watching lectures at 2 speed, maybe you're actively reviewing your notes, maybe you're doing practice questions. And you're not checking your phone, you're not like going to get a snack in between, you're not even using the bathroom, you're just doing deep focused work for a couple hours. And, you know, these activities of course require a lot more mental effort and are high in intensity. So I don't expect you to do it at all hours of the day, and it should leave you feeling mentally tired afterwards. The more you're able to deep work, the less time you will need to study overall. So if you really believe in the growth mindset, as I talked about before, then you can completely change the way you study. You can create more free time for yourself and not rely on studying more to do better in school. And theoretically, depending on how you study, this is why I say you can cut your studying time in half. These few simple steps, when combined, will definitely help you to study less. And trust me, as a student, this creates a less stressful life. Your life as a student becomes meaningful. Now it's time to go and try these out. I have more YouTube videos just like this. You're gonna see a study playlist on my left, and you're gonna see another video that YouTube might recommend for you. Give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment if you're feeling nice. I'm wishing you all the best of luck, and if you want some additional study resources, check out the description below for my free study course and this website that I've been designing for over a year for students. Tons of free templates on there as well. In the meantime, bye, have a wonderful time.